What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim's Sports Talk. We have a Monday Night Football recap. We have Game 1 against Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and the final score is not telling of exactly how this game went. We have it 26-10 Kansas City over New England, and honestly, this game could have gone either way. It was a 13-10 game early in the fourth quarter, and Pat Mahomes finished the day 19 for 29, 236 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but he threw 2 passes that should have been intercepted. Okay, let me tell you. These were right in the DB's hands, and they could have picked it off. This was much of a game where the Patriots did everything to lose it. And if you give Kansas City a chance to win, they will win every single time. And that's what happened. There was missed opportunities as far as they had a sack fumble on Pat Mahomes. There was a weird situation where the refs didn't call it. And they're like, okay, is it an interception? Is it a sack? Did they call down before that they kind of called the play dead before it should have been called dead? Bill Belichick's kind of looking into it and trying to figure it out, but then before he has a chance to figure it out, they kick it off, or they punt it off, and there's no opportunity to challenge it. And it was kind of weird because they were like, it's an incomplete pass, but then you look at the replay and it never hits the ground. He catches it right out of the air. So that was a missed opportunity, missed picks, bad penalties. There was a penalty on the drive that put the Chiefs up 20-13 that they called it an unnecessary roughness call on the sideline, and there really wasn't anything there. Number 91 kind of puts his hands on him. Number 51 is there. They apparently called the penalty on number 51, but really there was nothing there. So, and the icing on the cake is then the Patriots had 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a fumble. Hoyer had the interception. Stidham had 2 interceptions, and then one of those was returned for a touchdown. So it actually wasn't even a great day for the Kansas City offense. The great Kansas City offense got stifled for the most part throughout this entire day. So good for the Patriots. You knew the Patriots were going to come out. They were going to play a great game. Why is it unlisted? Anyway, and so you knew that they were going to come out and they were going to play a great game. So it sucks for the Patriots to actually, they had an opportunity here. They had an opportunity to stop the team. For Kansas City now becomes the first team to start the season 2 straight years in a row, 4-0. And the Patriots had a legitimate chance of stopping this. So if they had Cam Newton is out because of COVID. If they have Cam Newton, they have a real chance of winning this game. So very, very unfortunate. This whole situation stinks. We all hate the stupid COVID protocols, the COVID situations, but you got to do it. You have to do it. So it's, you wish there was something else you could do. And I don't know why, what was the threshold of postponing the game, not postponing the game? When was Cam Newton on the facility last? Could have somebody else have had it? I guess they did the test and came out with all negatives. But what if you had a false negative? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on here that's kind of weird, because why postpone the Titans and the Steelers game 6 days in advance, but then Cam Newton has COVID 2 days in advance, and you don't postpone the game at all? We would have liked to see these two teams at full capacity with a full, this deserved to be primetime. It's kind of a shame that it wasn't primetime to start with. It was nice that it got pushed back, because this is a game that was worth primetime. But with Cam Newton, it is worth a primetime shot, not with Brian Hoyer and Jared Stidham. And that's kind of just a funny little thing to, just to think about, is everybody was so high on Stidham, but he's not even the backup. When Cam Newton's out, they put in Brian Hoyer. And so it's funny that all that hype on the offseason, the Studham, and it turns out he is not even the backup QB to Cam Newton. So very disappointing there. Damian Harris, running back for New England, had a great day. 17 carries, 100 yards with a long of 41. That that's winning football right there. It sucks that the rest of the team kind of crapped the bed, but that's amazing because Sony Michel was hurt, and so they're missing one of their best running backs. And James White only had 3 carries on the day. Burkhead had 11. So Damian Harris coming out big, 17 carries for 100 yards. Edwards-Helaire, he had an okay day, right around 4 yards a carry, 16 carries, 64 yards. Nothing spectacular for the rookie. And there wasn't a lot in the air. You had Tyreek Hill on an in around with 4 for 64, 4 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 3 catches for 70 yards. So they kind of had a couple of chunk plays, 45 yards long for the Travis Kelce. But for the most part, Patriots defense did a really good job. They just could not ice it. They couldn't actually, they couldn't get those turnovers that they needed to win this game. So very unfortunate for the Patriots. As I say again, you'd like to see this game at full capacity. I really wish they were. But the Packers and the Falcons are still going on. Currently, we have the Packers 27, Falcons 9. Maybe the Falcons can do a reverse Falcons and make a great comeback. Wouldn't that be something? I'm rooting for it. I hope to see the the Falcons come back, but I just don't see it. The Packers are too good. Aaron Jones is going to ice this game. Jamal Williams, their backup running back, is going to do good. So let's see here. I'm just curious what the stats are over there, because freaking Aaron Rodgers is having himself a day. 21 for 26 and 4 touchdowns, 280 yards. They're actually only 12 carries, 44 yards for Jones, and 5 carries for 6 yards. So the Falcons' run defense is playing pretty darn well, but it's crazy, this situation. What's up, Spoil Aphid Gaming? Fire his ass. Who are you firing? Dan Quinn? I don't blame me if that's who you're talking about. 0-4 start for such a great roster, and they really haven't caught the injury bug, so 0-4 start is pretty unacceptable. The Texans did the right thing. Falcons do the right thing. Wait, did the Texans actually fire Bill O'Brien? Good for them. I did not see that. Absolutely. That's exactly what they should have done. Good for Bill O'Brien, or good for Texans to get rid of Bill O'Brien. Unfortunately, they didn't get rid of him before he got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. So David Johnson has not been the answer at running back. He's been doing okay, but he's nothing like what DeAndre Hopkins was for that offense. So absolutely, Dan Quinn should go. It sucks to say he should go after losing to the Packers. Honestly, he should have gone beforehand, because Dan Quinn losing to the Packers was expected. Packers are a really, really good team this year. And they were a good team last year. Weren't they like 13-3? I know they got blown out in the NFC Championship game, but they were a fantastic team last year. And they said Aaron Rodgers had a down year, but he only threw like 2 or 3 picks on the year, or maybe 4. Like, he had 30 touchdowns again. He only threw 4,000 yards, or just around 4,000 yards. Worst GM move in history. Trade away Watson's number 1 target. What worse you got nothing for him? It's really bad. Trading away the second best receiver in the league should be illegal. They should have pulled, the commissioner of the NFL should have pulled a commissioner of the NBA. Yeah, you can't trade Chris Paul to the Lakers. No, you're not allowed to do that. They should have said the same thing. Yeah, Houston, you're not allowed to trade DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, what are you doing here? But they accepted it probably because, hey, let's see the young Kyler Murray with him. But at the same time, you like the young Deshaun Watson with him. So they should have said, no, that's unacceptable. Bill O'Brien, you're gone. Let's see here. Falcons are knocking on the doorstep. Just started the 4th quarter. Matt Ryan looking. He finds, that's the backup, Ito Smith, I believe, number 23. Isn't he Ito Smith, number 23? I know you're happy, Spoiled at VIP Gaming, with your the arch nemesis, the Falcons, going down. Yeah, what a great freaking roster to be 0-4. Dan Quinn has to be sick. At least when we traded Jimmy Graham, we got a first and max under for him. making it make sense when you trade. Make it makes sense when you trade. At the first second, I thought you said make it make sense. No thanks. I ain't making it make sense. It was funny too. I remember when they got David Johnson. I said, somebody was like, Houston got David Johnson. I was like, oh my God, that's freaking amazing. That's awesome to get a fantastic weapon for Deshaun Watson. Go get him a weapon. That's awesome. Fantastic move. And then they were like, they traded DeAndre Hopkins for him. I said, what? Why? Why would you do that? What's up, sports fan all day? What is up? I feel bad for Falcons fans. Nobody's had their heart taken out more in the last 5 years. It's got to be true, right? I mean, that's pretty brutal. All right, so they end up getting the touchdown here. My YouTube TV's behind, so let's see how they do it. They're about to line up. I see it on ESPN though. They get the touchdown. Matt Ryan in shotgun. They got Todd Gurley. Is he number 21 or number 27? Just kidding. Number 21. Oh, they give it to him. Bounces outside. Matt Ryan with the big block on number 26. Matt Ryan putting his body on the line. Look at him go. Good for Matt Ryan, man. He wants to win this game. He's sick of these comebacks. He's like, you know what? Let me get a comeback of my own. They are down. Wow, they didn't go for two yet. I guess you can wait to go for two for the second touchdown. They're going to need to score another one. I won't clown them tonight. They suffered enough. Hey, don't count them out yet, man. That offense can score at will. That offense can score at will. I will not count out the Falcons yet. You know, I know their defense will give up another probably 4 touchdowns, but who knows? Why did the Falcons get Gurley just to pound the ball 8 times? I thought you said you weren't going to rag on them. Then the very next thing, you go ahead and rag on them. Awesome, Spoiled AFib Gaming. Awesome. I love it. Let's go back to the Patriots game real quick. Just look at some team stats right now. Yeah, Kansas City was only 4 for 11 on third down. For that offense, that's not nearly good enough. 6 for 15 on the Patriots, 2 for 3 on fourth down. Very interesting. The Patriots actually end up with more total yards, 357 total yards to 323 total yards for the Chiefs. And both teams only had 4 penalties on each. And you had the first offensive penalty for the Patriots today. Week 4, and this is their first offensive penalty. It was a false start. Let's see what we got here. I'm a Saints fan. It happens. I can't help it. We're rivals, man. Y'all division worse than ours. Our division is the worst in football. There's no doubt about it. 3 teams are just hot garbage, and the other team that I believe is actually a decent football team just cannot find a way to win right now. And I thought it was their secondary that was bad, but I went in and Baker Mayfield didn't have a great day. They just ran the heck out of the ball. Good for the Browns. I hope the Falcons win. No, I mean Falcons. I mean the Falcons win. Patriots ended up with a higher time of possession too, 31.5 to 28.5. They did so much to win this game. They just didn't capitalize on those turnovers. Or they didn't get the turnovers. They should have had at least 3 turnovers, and they didn't get them. That's a huge turnaround for them. They could have easily won that game, to be honest, because it was a 13-10 game early in the fourth, and it was a touchdown drive aided by some penalties, aided by a missed opportunity for a pick, and then you had a pick 6 coming from Stidham the next drive. So Stidham was not the move today. Yeah, 5 for 13, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Not good. 5 and 11, not very good. Yeah, now Pat Mahomes, because of the failing of the Patriots, starts the first 4 games of the year with no interceptions. How many touchdowns is he up to? 9 TDs, no interceptions. He threw 2 today. Let's not forget. I've been thinking trading Julio for Keenan Allen in my fantasy. I'm about to do it. That hamstring held me back. Keenan Allen for Julio. That's interesting because Justin Herbert has looked really, really good. I would have said absolutely not starting the year. But now with how good Keenan Allen's looking, I actually don't blame you for thinking about that. Chrissy, what's up, Tim, my man? I make sure my notification's on for you, buddy. Hey, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. For some reason, my freaking video, my stream started on private. The stupid system of YouTube. I've never put it on private once in my life, but for some reason, when it comes on there, it starts at private. What crazy Kamara almost leading NFL in receiving. Kamara is a monster, dude. I will never forget that freaking screen pass where he's just jogging down the field. Just jogging. And he gets like a 75-yard touchdown just jogging. What a boss. Falcons are so bad, man. Wow. Hey, well, you know what? I'm not counting them out. Let's see what happens here. They need to get a stop on the Green Bay Packers, which is easier said than done. All right, they just got, it's like a 2nd and 5 right now. Got Aaron Jones out of bounds. I'm very curious to see how this ends. If they can get a stop here, I bet they score a touchdown and they make this game much more interesting. They never will be the same after blowing that Super Bowl. Well, not with Matt Ryan and Dan Quinn. You know, it's tough to, but who knows? Maybe they get a better coach and all of a sudden this team turns into a fantastic team because they have the players to do it. They have a great roster. Just for some reason, I guess, as you said, Dan Quinn after that Super Bowl loss can't recover from that win. Or loss, I should say. Terry McLaurin is top 5 in receiving yards. This I like I said he would be. Good for you. Good call. I did not think he would be just because of our offensive situation, but I do know Terry McLaurin is a legit monster. And it was nice to see Haskins made a point of getting the ball, or Scott Turner, whatever the case may be. Somebody made a point that we were going to get Terry McLaurin the ball this weekend, which was very important. Falcons fans eat s'mores while burning their jerseys, man. Eating s'mores tomorrow. All right, we got 1st and 10. They have to stop them right here. Another first down is deadly. All right, was it timeout or a false start? Yeah, timeout. Timeout made by Matt before. $23 for 28, 292 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is washed up. Aaron Rodgers is not elite anymore. Did you know that? Yeah, you know, Aaron Rodgers actually, you know, he really sucked last year. He was carried by the rest of his team. You know, they got a good defense around him, and, you know, he's just not what he once was, so he's kind of washed up now, and he's not good. This is the kind of arguments you hear from other sports commentators. Aaron Rodgers is washed up. Unbelievable. After a 13-3 season, people were like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is not what he once was. Yeah, he's not elite anymore. So sad. Yeah, this is ridiculous. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the game still today. I think I still put him no lower than number 4 behind Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson. You arguably can put him over any one of those except for Pat Mahomes. Chiefs may go undefeated. You know, I don't know about that, but their team's fantastic, especially defensively. Defensively, they look a lot better this year than they did early last year. Their defense did come on late in the season, but right now they look really good. What they did to Lamar last week was fantastic. They really held him together. They tackle as soon as the receiver gets the ball. There's not a lot of yak coming out of a Chiefs defense, which is very, very important. Spoon and Giving, we sewed down. And I remember on Instagram, we put our ring up and a picture of an onion ring for the Falcons. At least they have a ring. I hope the Saints just fix up. Because we can stop the Chiefs. Breeze always dual food teams to the very end. Dual good teams to the very end. Fair enough. The Saints are good. Their defense really struggled against the Packers and the Raiders, but you clean that up. They're offensively as good as anyone in the league, probably behind the Chiefs, to be honest. I think they are a very comparable offense to the Packers. And, then, of course, you have the run game in Baltimore. That's fantastic. And Buffalo's looked great. And then you also have Russell Wilson in Seattle. So they're right there in the top 5-6 offenses in the league. You could put them anywhere in there, to be honest, especially after they get Michael Thomas back. They'll have Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Still have Drew Brees, a Hall of Famer. So they'll be very good the rest of the way. They'll definitely be in the playoffs. They shouldn't have any trouble. Maybe the Buccaneers take the division, but they shouldn't have any trouble making a playoff spot. We ran the ball over 20 times against the Lions. That doesn't sound like a whole lot. Was that just Kamara? 20 times in a game is it's not like you're running a crazy amount. I know you have to go away from the run game when you go down 14-0, but by freaking halftime you're back up 28-14 or something like that? You guys pretty much came back right away. Yeah, but the thing is right now is they have Jameis Winston as Drew Brees' backup, and that's a legit backup. I know he throws more interceptions than touchdowns sometimes. He had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, but he's still not a bad quarterback. I'm very interested to see where Jameis Winston goes, especially in a Sean Payton's offense. So if they end up paying Jameis Winston next year, I think their offense could actually stay pretty damn good. The Bucs will be start losing soon. Their hard games are coming. Yeah, and they just played the Chargers tough. I don't know. We'll see where the Bucs are still a really good team, especially after they get Leonard Fournette back. They have a top 2 duo in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin behind Julio and Calvin Ridley. I don't know of another duo that I'd really put ahead of them. So I believe they have the second best duo in the league. So I don't know. Chrissy, that not happening. We not the Texans. Hey, we could all dream, huh? Yep, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, Bill O'Brien finally gone. Dan Quinn is out the door next. The Vegas odds on him being the next coach fired have to be tremendously high. And it should be Adam Gase is fired before anyone else, then Bill O'Brien, then Dan Quinn. But for some reason, the Jets won't fire Adam Gase. So we're looking at the second coach fired this season will be Dan Quinn. That's what's going on. Should have been gone. Absolutely. The owner should never have let him trade DeAndre Hopkins. That was a disgrace when the owner was like, yeah, you know what? I believe in you. I trust that. That's a great move. No, it wasn't. Lattimore owns the soul of Mike Evans anyway. Confidence is key, as I say, Spoiled and Fed Gaming. Confidence is key. What do we got here? Man, they just, 3rd and 25. All right, they're going to get a field goal here. That puts them down 14, so they can get 2 touchdowns here and still tie the game. Maybe, who's their kicker now? They don't have Crosby anymore, right? They have a new kicker. Who's their kicker now? I don't remember. On the war, Adam Gase and Patricia have no business being head coaches. Patricia's interesting. I don't know. That's probably true. I haven't followed Matt Patricia over in Detroit nearly as much. But that team is a solid roster, especially I actually really like Matthew Stafford as a quarterback. So they probably should be doing better. Are they 0-4 now as well? They might be 0-4. And they just lost. They lost to the Bears week 1 in a disgusting. No, they beat Arizona. I don't know. Matt Patricia is not quite yet on the hot seat, especially not in midseason. He'll finish the season, barring something crazy happening. But in my opinion, he's not really on the hot seat, especially not as hot as Dan Quinn and as Adam Gase. Adam Gase is literally burning. He's engulfed in a flame, and he's still somehow sitting on it, which is impressive, honestly. But I have no clue what's going to happen with there. It's true. Search up Mike Evans versus Lattimore. I don't know exactly where I would go to look that up, but if you can lock up Mike Evans, you're doing something. But what else is Lattimore locking up anybody else? Because Mike Evans is legit receiver, so good for him for locking him down if that's true. I'll take your word for it. He not doing good ever since he came from the Patriots. Matt Patricia. Yeah, I don't know. Detroit definitely hasn't been good. There's no argument there. They were the number 3 pick last year for a reason. I think if we knew DeAndre Hopkins was available for trade, we would have made a trade for him better than what the Texans got from the Cardinals. See, the thing is we weren't, I said this yesterday, and I'll continue to say it, we're not looking to add pieces right now. We're looking to add capital. So draft capital, add cap space, add things like that, because we really, I think we're going to have a fun offseason this season coming off, because Ron Rivera might really start paying some people on free agency, really trying to make some moves. So this year, unfortunately, was not the time for us to try to get somebody like DeAndre Hopkins, but I agree with your sentiment. We would have been very interested coming this next offseason if he was available, and we should have been interested this year. Hey, rebuild mode for Texans, Saints. Let's give a second rounder for the old man Watt. You want J.J. Watt? Has he stayed healthy as of late? I mean, I don't want anything to do with J.J. Watt just because he can't stay healthy. The man's a monster when he's on the field, but he can't stay healthy, man. No, during the offseason, we tried to make a trade for Diggs, but no one knew Hopkins was available. Now that you mention that, I kind of do have a vague memory of that. You might be right of that. Now that you mention we may have made a move for Diggs. I don't know. That's fair. That's fair. Davenport not healthy. Watt more healthy than him. You know what? Let's take a look. I'm curious. J.J. Watt. Yeah, in the last 4 seasons, he's only had 1 season of playing a full 16-game year. He played 3 games in 2016, 5 games in 2017. He did play all of 2018, but then he only had 8 games in 2019, and he's played every game so far now. I don't know. I don't like the J.J. Watt. I wouldn't trade a bunch of capital for J.J. Watt because next week he could be gone. And the Saints can give a second for that, a good trade. I don't know. You talk about how good the Saints drafting is. Do you really want to give up a second for a guy that may not last, 2 games? I don't know, man. Seems a little sketchy to me. Because also, isn't your main problem the defensive backs? Like you just talked about Lattimore, but the rest of the team rest of the defensive backs, isn't that the main problem? At least that's what's been getting torched as of late. For the price Titans got Clowney, I would have loved him with our D-line. I was screaming for Clowney for a while. I thought you could get a good deal. We had the cap space for him, and having Chase Young, Jadeveon Clowney, Ryan Kerrigan, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, Tim Settle. Oh, that defensive line. Man, we would have eaten people alive. And all of them able to stay fresh. That would have been so nice. Our pass rush is almost last. We need him. That's why. Maybe that's why your secondary is getting torched. That's a fair assessment. All right, Falcons are moving the ball a little bit. Moving the ball. See, we got 1st and 10. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, they find, who's that? Is that Gage again? Is Gage number 13? All right, they're moving the ball, man. They're trying to reverse this. Maybe this is the game they reverse the stigma of the Falcons. Yeah, it's Gage. No, it's Blake. Blake? I don't even know who that is. Not familiar with number 13. Wow. Gurley staying on his feet and getting out of bounds to stop the clock. That's a big play right there. Big play. Davenport never played yet, and we not getting pressure much time. Carr would make a beat sitting in the pocket. Hell, the Redskins got a better pass rusher than us. Hey, that's not fair. The Redskins actually have a pretty dang good pass rush, okay? We've spent a lot of capital on pass rush, so that's not a fair comparison, okay? We have 5 first-round draft picks on our defensive line, so we should have a better pass rush than you. We should have a better pass rush than a lot of people. If we have anything, we have a pass rush. Yeah, Chris says our pass rush is top 3 in the league. I don't know that to be a fact, but I would believe it. We had 8 sacks week 1 against the Eagles. Search up Saints sacks versus Redskins. See what I mean. Trying to see if I can look up season leaders team. All right, here we go. Sacks. Yeah, right now the Redskins are tied for 3rd place in sacks. We have 14 sacks total. So, tied for excuse me, Jesus. These windows are going crazy. Hold on. Let's look at what you guys have. Team. Wait, what happened? Total yards. That's offense. No, what happened? I wanted the defense, but I just had defense. What happened? Hold up. Regular season team. All right, here's defense. Okay, let's see. Complete leaderboards for sacks. Hold on. Saints are in the middle of the pack, man. They have 10 sacks on the year. They're just outside the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're number 12 in the league in sacks. Cam Jordan just got a sack against the Lions. Yes, our D-line need help. All y'all got is Cam Jordan. You guys got 10 sacks on the year. That cam from safety. Ooh, almost a touchdown there from Ridley. Almost a touchdown. Good defense. What do they got right now? Was that 4th down? I wasn't even paying attention. I was looking up those stats. Matt Ryan's ticked. Ooh, just dropped an F-bomb. Our safeties have more sacks than the D-line. That might be true. I don't know. But at least you're getting some rush, right? No, you obviously don't want to have to rely on safeties as your pass rush. I understand fully what you mean. But hey, make the trade. That's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm not saying you don't need D-line help, and I'm not opposed for you getting D-line help. I just don't know if you want J.J. Watt specifically, because that guy is if you needed D-line help, you guys should have gone and got paid some Jadeveon Clowney, but that's neither here nor there now. So, I don't know. It's maybe you could. Well, now they fired Bill O'Brien. Darn. I think your window closed. Man. You may have been able to get like J.J. Watt for a crazy 3rd round pick or something like that. He's the best market value we got right now. He old and cheap, that's why. It's risky. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is it's risky, okay? It's risky to go get J.J. Watt. Very, very risky. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Aaron Rodgers didn't get the first down. All right, it's close. Rather than giving us first rounder, might as well take the risk. We known for taking risks anyway. That's true. Sean Payton is a risk taker. There's no doubt about it. It's an interesting trade. It's a very interesting trade. I know you. GM Aphid Gaming. Good old. You should change it to Aphid Gaming. You should be spelled Aphid GM. Aphid GM. GMing. Easy. Too easy for Aaron Rodgers. What does he have on the day, man? Aaron Rodgers is an absolute monster. Absolute monster. I'm sure he has over 300 now. Yeah, he was at 292 earlier. $27 for 32, 327 yards, and 4 touchdowns. With no Devontae Adams. Granted, the Falcons' defense is absolutely garbage, but still, without his best weapon. He's washed up, though. Yeah, you can look up a guy named Strong Opinion Sports, and he talks about how Aaron Rodgers is not elite anymore. Shut up. Shut up. Aaron Rodgers this year. Let's just take a look real quick. Yeah, before today, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And then he has 4 more touchdowns today. Hey, look at our defense. Every game, our pressure is the weakest link. We have no business letting up more than 5 seconds in the pocket. It's unacceptable. And we have a dude we drafted who never completed a full season. Well, over here at the Redskins, we know all about draft picks not finishing a full season. Chase Young already hurt. Jonathan Allen got hurt. I think Deron Payne is like one of the only first-round draft picks for us in like probably the last 5-10 years that lasted a full season. Josh Doxson didn't even play his rookie year because of a phantom injury to his foot or whatever. Doctors are saying, I don't see anything wrong with your foot on x-rays. I don't see anything wrong with your foot as far as it seems like your foot should be completely healthy. Well, apparently, according to him, it wasn't. Brandon Sheriff may have been healthy his entire rookie season, but now since his rookie season, he's been hurt basically every single year. 2 minutes left, 3rd and 9, game over for the Falcons, and that is game over for Dan Quinn. Hopefully he is gone after this year, or after this game. If Marcus gets hurt when he come back, we trading him for J.J. Watt. Go for it. That's a more interesting trade. If you have a guy that's getting hurt, trade him for J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt's going to be better than whoever you trade for him because he's one of the best in the league when he's on the field. Jonathan Hurt for why he rarely plays. Jonathan Allen. Not sure which Jonathan you're referring to. you telling me J.J. Watt and Cam Jordan not about to destroy a offensive line? I just said J.J. Watt is one of the best in the league when healthy. Key word there. When healthy. And the last 4 years, he hasn't been healthy. That's not true. He had that one season, as I just said, 16 games. But there's had so many injuries, and when you get older, you don't get healthier. Okay, those kind of things get worse. So making a move for a guy that may not, it's risky, but it could pay off because you're right. Cam Jordan and J.J. Watt would be a hell of a duo. Yeah, Jonathan Allen. Yeah, he can be hurt quite a bit as well. He's also kind of playing out of position. He's not really an interior defensive lineman. That's why we like Matt Ioannidis and Daron Payne a bit more. But he's still a surgeon when it comes to his hands and things like that in the trenches. So I still like him anywhere on the defensive line, anywhere to wreak havoc. So I'm glad we got him. Especially considering he was expected to be a top 5 pick that year, and he fell due to a shoulder arthritis injury or issue, and he fell to us at number 16. So I was not I was not mad about it, even though I think it was Marlon Humphrey either was drafted right before us or right after us. I think it was right before us, and obviously he's fantastic. Hey, he played for the Texans, who slave drive him. Saints will make it a lot easier for him. That's probably it's like a comparison to our Ryan Kerrigan. Ryan Kerrigan, he's an Iron Man. He plays all the time, but we do use the heck out of him. And then this year we've slowed down his usage, and his production has actually gone up a little bit because he's staying fresh. Especially game 1, he had two and a half sacks game 1, and he only played like 22 plays. He also broke up a screen pass, and I believe he had a fumble recovery or something like that in just 22 plays. So yeah, if you can keep him fresh, J.J. Watt's going to be dangerous. I know it's not happening. Watt probably want to retire as a Texan, but hey, if it happened, GM Spoiled is known for in this chat. You're right. I will definitely talk about that for the ages. I had a Commodore Spoiled AFib Gaming called the trade for J.J. Watt to the Saints. I will preach that for years to come. Ryan Kerrigan is a Hall of Famer. No. Ryan Kerrigan's not a Hall of Famer. No. He's a Redskins Hall of Famer. He's one of the best Redskins of all time. As early, definitely like, the top 50 or top, I don't know exactly where you put him as far as one of the top Redskins. He's a sack leader. So he's up there in top Redskins, but I do not agree that Ryan Kerrigan is a Hall of Famer. I kind of agree with the Hall of Famer mindset of you can't talk about like the history of the league or the story of the league without you in that conversation. So obviously Ryan Kerrigan being on one of the worst teams in football in his tenure really hurts him, and you don't really hear about Ryan Kerrigan. But he's good. He's a good, solid player for us, but I do not agree. Like, I don't know. There's like times where you kind of don't see him in games. He's not a Hall of Famer. What's Watt's cap hit? I can look that up for you real quick. And I'm pretty sure the Saints did not have a lot of cap space if we talked about that last time. J.J. Watt is a $15.5 million cap hit. And the Saints only have $7.5 million of cap. So you got to lose some cap space. You got to make a trade. It can't just be for picks. You have to make a trade to lose a player or two to try to get that cap back. Who's there? Jared Cook is a $9 million cap hit for y'all. Isn't Jared Cook like 104 years old? Why are you guys paying a tight end that is 33 years old $9 million? What? Jared Cook is your third highest paid player? I disagree. I disagree with that. He has the numbers for the Hall of Fame, and he was the only person on our D-line for all those years and still wreaked havoc. Plus, you didn't see him much because they could double team him. I don't even think that Ryan Kerrigan made the All-NFC East team in the deck for the decade. Bro, Saints known for reshaping cap. We can do it. Well, I don't know what you guys are doing paying Jared Cook $9 million. That's ridiculous. Brian Arakpo was a bust. I agreed. But, okay, so addressing he has the numbers for the Hall of Fame. Well, somebody that is on our team that should be a Hall of Famer, or not, well, somebody that was a former Redskin is Brian Mitchell. So until he becomes a Hall of Famer, I don't think you even look Ryan Kerrigan's way, to be honest. Like, Ryan Kerrigan's not B-Mitch. He is second all-time, or at least retired second all-time in all-purpose yards when he retired, only behind the great Jim Brown. So B-Mitch should be a Hall of Famer. Also, Joe Jacoby should be a Hall of Famer. So there's a couple of Redskins even ahead of Ryan Kerrigan, in my opinion, just to name two off the top of my head, that should be Hall of Famers before him. And I like how the NFL does the Hall of Fame. They only allow a certain amount of Hall of Famers per year, and I really appreciate that. Not like the NBA that just, basically everybody that was somewhat decent becomes a Hall of Famer. I don't like that at all. Bill O'Brien to Falcons. I can see Falcons doing same stupid. Oh, no. If Bill O'Brien... No, not happening. Hey, when is trade deadline? Trade deadline is not until like November, isn't it? I thought the NFL trade line was in like November. Yep, November 3rd. So you got plenty of time. Still almost a whole month. London Fletcher should be a Hall of Famer, as well as his numbers was better than Ray Lewis. No one talks about that. So he does have very comparable numbers to Ray Lewis. He played longer than Ray Lewis, but I don't think you honestly believe, or anybody honestly believes, if you watch the two play, that Ray Lewis was not the better of the two, and significantly better at that. But he was an Iron Man, that being London Fletcher. He does have a Super Bowl ring. I like that pick, London Fletcher, over your Ryan Kerrigan pick. So I would like to see London Fletcher be a Hall of Famer before I'd see Ryan Kerrigan, but I'd still take those other guys I mentioned first. Speaking of trade deadline, do you see us making a move? No, I don't. Unless we want to offload somebody. We may try to look for draft capital and maybe try to look to get rid of some cap space, but no, I don't see us really making any moves because we're not trying to win this year. This is not a this year. We're not gunning for this year. That could change if all of a sudden we roll off 4 wins in a row, and that, before the trade deadline, and that changes things. But as far as us making a move to get somebody, I don't see it. I think they're trying to put Haskins in a situation that's not necessarily the best, just to see how he responds, how he does the best in these situations. That's why they made him go for it on 4th and 13 to see how he did there. But no, I don't see us making really any, especially no splashy moves before the trade deadline this year. But very, very interesting offseason coming up for us. All right, we have the final in the Packers-Falcons game. It is 30-16 Green Bay, and all led by Aaron Rodgers, 27 for 33, 327 yards and 4 touchdowns. Matt Ryan ends the day with 28 on 39, 285 yards and no touchdowns. Todd Gurley comes away with 2 touchdowns. The tight end, this is the tight end, right? Never heard of this guy before in my entire life, but Robert Tonyan comes away with 6 catches, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the tight end. Very well done for Robert Tonyan. Wow, very cool. And you had no turnovers on the day. Good for both teams, no turnovers. But you did have a turnover on downs for the Falcons there at the end of the game where they were trying to make the comeback. So 16 carries, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns for Todd Gurley. 15 carries, 71 yards for Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones did have a receiving touchdown. So overall, the running backs were a little bit quiet for these two caliber of running backs, but the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, was all over the place. Very good win for one of the greatest of all times in Aaron Rodgers. Offload Collins and Apke. Offload Collins. He's still young. He's still a piece that we could build around. And I know he hasn't played the best so far, but I like Collins. I still like him. He's only 27, I think. Landon Collins is 26. He's not even 27 yet. This is a guy that you can help build around your team. I think we keep him. He's not that huge of a cap hit, but I like Collins, to be honest. And Inman is so trash. Nobody's trading for Inman. Inman was a free agent for a reason. He's actually not that trash, but he's nothing special either. Probably trade Collins to the Cardinals for a first. We can get a first for Collins. I think that's a no-brainer, to be honest. I think that you have to make the trade, but I don't think anybody's going to give a first for him. So I don't see that being a possibility. But I do agree that if you can get a first-round draft pick for him, I'm not necessarily ticked because you're going to get a much cheaper player than Landon Collins, and then you may be able to replace Collins. So that's not a terrible idea. But I don't think anybody's trading a first-round pick for him. Make sure you read the top one above Chrissy. Okay, here we go. What teams are in rebuild mode right now? The Texans, Lions, Falcons, Jets, and Bengals. I predict Julio, Matt being moved, Watt being moved, Le'Veon Bell being moved, Lions wide receiver being moved. I made that prediction. Okay, so I'm assuming when you say Lions receiver, you're talking about Kenny Golladay being moved. Julio's not being moved. They just paid Julio a big contract. They want to keep him. They're going to keep him as a forever Falcon. Matt Ryan being moved. A team would take Matt Ryan. That's for sure. A team would definitely take Matt Ryan. The old man Matt Schaub is still the backup over there in the Falcons, and he actually may do really well. I loved him when he was in Houston. So that's interesting. Le'Veon being moved is something that a lot of people are predicting. But the problem with him is his health, and can you really trade somebody that can't stay healthy like Le'Veon Bell? So Le'Veon Bell, while he probably wants to be moved because he's not in a good situation, I would love for him to be moved. I have him in 2 of my fantasy leagues, and I think his numbers would go up, up, up. But who needs a running back? Who wants a running back right now? Giants? Because they just lost Saquon Barkley? Niners? But they're not making a push anymore because there's so many injuries. Who wants a running back? Tell me that. All right. If we could get Isaiah Simmons in a trade, I'll do that in a heartbeat. 1,000% agreed. Isaiah Simmons right now is one of my favorite young players. I love Isaiah Simmons. I wanted us to get him somehow. 1,000,000% I would take Isaiah Simmons. Even though I've heard he's not doing well over there in the Cardinals, I would definitely love Isaiah Simmons. I think that's somebody that Jack Del Rio could really shape into somebody very special at the middle linebacker position. Matt Ryan on the Dolphins might work out. They're not going to make a move for Matt Ryan. They just spent a first-round draft pick on Tua. I know that he's not the healthiest guy in the world, but they got to try to get you, because if you take Matt Ryan can play for another 4 or 5 years minimum. So whoever takes Matt Ryan is going to be a quarterback for a serious amount of time, and that's not something you're going to do over Tua. Percentage chance Dan Quinn gets fired tomorrow. It should be 100%. I like your 92% spoiled AFib gaming. Rob Amen says 50%. Matt Ryan to Chicago. Great call, Rob. That's a great idea. I love that idea, actually. Fantastic. Yes, absolutely, Rob. That would be a really good move. Bears could use a running back. They have David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen. David Montgomery hasn't been that impressive so far. So, wow, that would be crazy. What if the Bears revamp their team by going out and get Le'Veon Bell and Matt Ryan? Wow. I like that a lot. Welcome, Rob. Amen. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming by and bringing some great takes. I love what you're talking about. Those are two really good moves. Patriots for Le'Veon Bell would be perfect. Patriots? Iman. Okay, got it. Got it from now on, Rob. Iman. Rob Iman. Yeah, no, thanks for coming. And yeah, no, I like both of those moves. Le'Veon Bell would be perfect for the Patriots. Le'Veon Bell would be perfect for the Patriots. They would love him as a weapon. They would use him in an interesting way. I wouldn't like it as a fantasy owner because you never know which running back is going to perform. But Patriots could use anybody. Well, the Patriots really, I don't think they want Le'Veon Bell. I don't think they want that guy injury prone. I don't like that as much. I think Chicago would make the move before the Patriots. Good deal, Chrissy, but Patriots don't really look at all pro running backs. Agreed. I'm trying to warm the nickname Spoiled the GM. One of these are happening, I swear. Spoiled the GM. Dirk Coder will likely be named the interim coach for the Falcons. I know nothing about Dirk Coder, so I may not even be saying his name right, just like yours. Trying to earn the nickname, Spoiled the GM. If you get two of those correct. Well, hold on. You got to get him a little bit more specific on where some of those guys are going. I will call you Spoiled the GM if. Okay, so you said, all right, Collins to Arizona. I'm gonna write these down for you. Collins to Arizona. Spoiled's predictions. Collins to Arizona. Watt to the Saints. Let's see here. Coder's a former Bucs head coach? Really? I don't remember Coder being the head coach for the Bucs. Dirk Coder. When was he Atlanta Falcons? Jeez Louise. So he was the coach for Jameis Winston for a few years, huh? Right before Bruce Arians. Shows how relevant Buccaneers were. I did not even know who their coach was, to be honest. That's crazy. It's either Saints or 49ers for Watt. Saints or 49ers for Watt. All right, I'll write. You getting? I'm keeping. Nope. You're keeping. All right. You know what? I'll keep it. I'll write it down for you. That's fine. 49ers. What else you gonna add to me? How long you will wait before he hit I want to be traded? How long you want to wait before he hit I want to be traded? Slow down your typing, AVIP Gaming. Slow down your typing. I need to be able to read. He coached before Bruce Arians take over. 49ers might be one injury from forfeiting. They're so banged up. The only team that you know what's crazy is though, one team that I remember there's this similar situation, but not so quickly. It wasn't this quickly, but the Packers won the Super Bowl back in 2011 with a team with a lot of players on IR. It wasn't their quarterback, but basically the rest of their team was on IR. So, and they still won a Super Bowl. I don't think the Niners are in the same situation, but Redskins for sure shipping Collins for extra cap. We have enough cap. We have $70 million after we cut Alex Smith next year. $70 million. How much more cap do you want, bro? How much more cap do you want? We don't need to get rid of Collins for more cap. Who the hell are we using that cap on? We already have $30 million of cap space right now for this season or something like that. I mean, our cap numbers are crazy. Like, why do we need more cap? I'll tell you right now what our cap is. I think it's like $35 million still. No, okay, $24 million. I don't know who we paid, but we still have $24 million cap right now. We don't need any more cap. Y'all going to let him walk in free agency when that time comes? Yeah, well, I mean, free agency, he's getting paid to what, 24? So we have him for plenty of time. He will be a $15 million cap hit in 2024, which honestly may be like nothing. He's a $16 million cap hit in 2022, $17 million in 2023, $17 million next year. Like, he's not really. We have $55 million in cap space next season. That's plenty to fill a team. And that does not include the $14.7 million we're going to get rid of when we cut Alex Smith next year. So we have over $70 million in cap space. That's plenty to go out and get a quarterback if we want. We can go get. We can get so much. That's so much money to build a team around a young quarterback, whether that be Dwayne Haskins or rookie quarterback. So there's so much there. Go get Dak or Juju. I like Juju. I would be interested in Juju, depending on how much he wants. But that's an interesting draft pick. Or an interesting free agent. I would like Juju. Dak wants too much, and I don't really like it. I would rather go get a rookie. If we want to move on from quarterback, I would like to go get one of the rookies, and Trey Lance would be my pick probably. Dak not leaving the Cowboys to start rebuild to another team. He's got so many weapons in Dallas. So many weapons. His offense is so good. I like Dak to stay in the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones will probably find a way to pay him. He just threw for 500 yards. They are 1-3, which is not good. I don't know. It's very interesting to say. I think he should stay in Dallas because he's so much weapons, so much potential there. Zeke they paid, Amari Cooper they paid. They just drafted CeeDee Lamb. They'll have him for a few years. They have one of the best offensive lines. They have that young Schultz tight end. Obviously, they still have my young Michael Gallup. They could even get more potential next year. Like they have so much of offensive weapons. You can't ask for a better situation than Dak is getting right now. Honestly, he should take a pay cut because of how much they've given around him. If they get him for like $30 million a year or $28 million a year, you know, you can get $120 million guaranteed on a 6-year deal, around $28-30 million a year. What does that put? 6 times 30 is 180. So maybe a 5-year deal for around 145-ish, something like that. That's what I would pay Dak, and I think Dak should sign that in a heartbeat. You're going to be a really well-paid human being, and you're going to have an opportunity to win a lot of games with that offense, and you give your team an opportunity to sign some defensive help for you. That's what I would like to see coming from Dak. McCarthy could be heading towards one-and-done territory in Dallas. 1-3 start with that offense. Not very good. Also, put down Bill O'Brien going to Falcons. The Falcons really would do that. All right. O'Brien to the Falcons. Even though that's not a good GM move. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know if you really want to take credit for that if you're going to say that you're going to be a GM. But O'Brien to the Falcons. All right. I wrote it down for you. Whatever else you want, let me know. I'll keep writing them down for you, spoiled AFib. Dak will leave the Cowboys if they don't pay him what he wants. I just told you about what I feel about that. McCarthy is failing to utilize Zeke. I 100% agree. I have him on 2 of my fantasy teams, and he is not performing nearly well enough for what I want him to do, and he's a fantastic option for him. And they just paid him $90 million. Use Zeke. See why I say Saints want Watt. We wanted Clowney. We could get him. Saints will get a pass rusher by trade deadline. Saints will get a pass rusher trade deadline. I already wrote Watt to Saints. It's interesting. Well, how about Carson Wentz? That's not going to go well. We should make a call for him if Haskins don't work out. I really like Carson Wentz. He can't stay healthy whatsoever. Can't stay healthy at all. But I do like Carson Wentz as a talent. So that would be interesting. If we could somehow get Carson Wentz, I'm not pissed about that. Because he's also had no weapons over there because none of them stay healthy. Zach Ertz is his only weapon. The rest of his receivers always get hurt, and his offensive line is not very healthy either. The running back situation's always meh. So I don't like what they've given Carson Wentz either, and then he can't stay healthy. So he's a very interesting character. No, Dak shouldn't take a pay cut. He took a pay cut for 4 years on that rookie deal. No PC, Mahomes, and Watson get paid. It's his turn. Now he should take no pay cut for Jerry. Well, I just told you why I think he should. And I think you got to think long term. Tom Brady was never the highest paid quarterback in the league. Not once. You think he's hurting for money with all his endorsements coming after he retires with 6 Super Bowls? Not saying Dak's going to get 6 Super Bowls with 9 Super Bowl appearances, but you win 1 or 2 Super Bowls, and all of a sudden you're a much different character, and he's going to get a lot more money off the field if you start winning. So I think that you should make it's funny they're insulting him by not paying him what he's worth. Insult me with $28 million, please. Insult me with $28 million a year. Can you insult me, please? You are just a horrible human being that insults everybody. Please insult me for $28 million a year. Gosh, geez, please. I'd love to be insulted that way. Hey, let's see here. Houston's coaching search should start and end with Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy will be a head coach after the season. The only reason he was not a head coach last year is because they went to the Super Bowl. And nobody could wait that long. They wanted to get somebody in the room early and often. We got a guy before the end of the season in Ron Rivera. Everybody was hopping on a coach right away. That's the only reason why Eric Bieniemy did not get a head coaching job. But yes, he will be a head coach after the season. He's such a highly touted guy. His offense has been amazing. His offensive designs with Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes has been great. Totally agree. Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach in this league. Hey, it's Falcons. It can happen. Matt Ryan, Redskins, ? Very interesting. I don't really like it because I think Matt Ryan is a bit overrated. He's had fantastic weapons in his entire time down there in the Falcons. So a lot of those seasons are helped by Julio Jones. Obviously now he has Calvin Ridley. In the past, he's had the only name that's come to my head is Mohamed Sanu, which is not all that great. There's another guy. Crap. There's another guy down there that for a while. Rodney White. Didn't he have Rodney White for a bit? Another really good receiver. So that's what I think. I'm not as high on Matt Ryan, even though I think Matt Ryan is a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins. Zeke didn't take a pay cut. DeMarcus Lawrence got paid. He's been garbage, and they paid those linemen full pay. He deserves his money. QB shouldn't take a pay cut. Do you want money? Or do you want to win? Look at what Pat... you talk about Pat Mahomes getting his pay. You know he's getting paid the next 2 years? Let's look at his pay. Let's look at his cap hit the next 2 years. Shall we? He signed a deal. Pat Mahomes was a $5 million cap hit this year. He's a $24.8 million cap hit next year. He's a $31.5 million cap hit the next year. Then, so it takes till 2023 where he jumps up to $42.5 million. So it's not until 2023 that he gets over that $40 million, which I think he's worth. So even in this situation where he would pay, or, you take the big payday, Kansas City got a steal for what they're paying Pat Mahomes, because by 2023, the cap number could be well over 200 mil, and you're all of a sudden, you're not as in a hole. And then it's not until like 2026 where they really pay him, I believe. Nope, hold on, 2026, 27 is it? Yeah, 2027 is when they pay him nearly $60 million, 59.9. So take a pay cut, Dak. You're gonna have such an amazing career there in Dallas. You're gonna be, it would be beneficial to you. Or don't take the pay cut and go somewhere else. Let somebody else take your place with that fantastic offense, and then they go, we didn't need Dak Prescott because our offense is so freaking fantastic. Okay, it's just, you're going to have to go to the Jets or somewhere else garbage, and not going to have nearly the weapons you have, not going to have the protection in the offensive line you have, not going to have the running back you have. You have so much there in Dallas. Take the pay cut, and you will not regret it, because it's a lot of money. Oh, that's us though, Tim. We would take any kind of money like that. But look at from a player's perspective. Oh, I know what's DA. Not sure what you meant by that. Hold on. Texans, Chargers, and Falcons will be attractive coaching vacancies, while the Jets and Jags will be amongst the worst. Chargers? You think Chargers are going to have a... No. Do you think the Chargers are going to fire Anthony Lynn? Why would they fire Anthony Lynn? I think they like Anthony Lynn, and they hit on his... Is he really on the hot seat? I don't think Anthony Lynn gets fired. I think they like Anthony Lynn, and I think he's actually been a pretty good head coach for them. I think Anthony Lynn is not going to be fired. But the Texans and Falcons are pretty attractive, and Jets is a shit show, and the Jags are a little bit better than the Jets. Yeah, Drew Brees took pay cuts his whole career. We owe Drew a lot, so they're a QB who you think of a team. There are QBs who think of the team. Drew Brees, one of the GOATs, man. One of the GOATs. Freaking won a Super Bowl. Freaking 14-2 every year. 12-4. Really, really great quarterback. Has a lot of weapons around him, man. Take your pay cut. LOL, I know what Mahomes' contract is. He mad at that he made it that way to help bring him more help, and Travis paid and Hill. That's a massive deal, but those 2 years are very low hit. Almost sounds like you're coming my way, Chrissy. It almost sounds like you're coming towards the dark side, okay? You're almost there, I feel like. Just a couple more comments, and I feel like you're going to be like, all right, Tim, you're right. Listen, the Chiefs' core is not that good in any other QB's hands. Only Mahomes can use that wide receiver core. That's not completely true. Alex Smith had really good numbers there, best of his career before he left. So that offense is really, really good. Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league, probably maybe behind George Kittle, so top 2 minimum. And then Tyreek Hill is a fantastic receiver. Sammy Watkins is really, really talented still. It's an interesting team, and actually defensively they look pretty darn good. They got Frank Clark, Taco Charlton, I think they said they got now, which is a first-round draft pick for the Cowboys. So I guess they made a move to get him. So it's interesting. If Anthony Lynn doesn't commit to Herbert, he will be gone. Denver is a wild card. Fangio deserves a pass. Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't commit to your number 6 pick overall, then yeah, I guess you will be fired. But I think they like Anthony Lynn, and I think Anthony Lynn's actually a pretty darn good coach. So, and I think they're grooming Herbert to be pretty good, man. Herbert's done well. Denver is a wild card. Fangio deserves a pass. Denver's another San Francisco situation, just decimated by injuries. I love Drew Lock. I like Drew Lock a lot over there in Denver. I wanted the Redskins to draft Drew Lock, but he got hurt, so that's going to struggle this year. Now they have Jeff Driscoll and somebody else now. I think they were like, Jeff Driscoll, you're too bad. We need to play somebody else, but that's pretty bad. Put this in the writing. Y'all either trade or draft a lineman. Yeah, duh. I'll put it down, but that's kind of... Duh. I've been saying that for weeks now. Let's go get Albert Haynes worthless. Yeah. Yeah, he needs a new kidney, last I heard. That was maybe a year ago. Hopefully he got his kidney. He was on his deathbed. He's been in bad shape his whole career, but it was pretty darn bad. John Elway has to stop micromanaging. Who's the head coach over there in Denver right now? You said Fangio, right? Fangio. Yeah, Denver was my sleeper team this year. I thought they were going to make the playoffs, but they've just been too decimated by injuries. So it's tough to be a Denver fan this year because of how much it's similar to San Francisco, as I said. That it's one of those coming true. If that does, I'm earning that GM title. All right, sounds good. The Seahawks made a huge mistake by trading Frank Clark, the Shark. Yeah, Frank Clark played really well tonight. I know he put some pressure on Stidham and Hoyer. So, and yeah, the Chiefs' defense has looked really, really good. Well, I take it back. I ain't know that. Oh, about Albert. Yeah, he was barely in bad shape. If you Google what was going on, he was actually I think it was sad. I think he put on his social medias that he was looking for somebody to donate him a kidney because he was in really, really bad shape. Fangio is the head coach. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Vic Fangio. Yeah, what is Denver's IR list? I mean, it's got to be pretty high, similar to because I know they lost Von Miller, they lost Drew Lock, they lost Sutton. Like it's getting bad over there. Jeez Louise. Oh yeah, Philip Lindsay's hurt. But yeah, their outside linebacker, I can't even say his name. Austin Cultro, Bryce Callahan, Jarrell Casey, Shelby Harris, Kareem Jackson, Drew Lock, Elijah Wilkinson, Devontae Harris, Philip Lindsay, and Trey Marshall. Yeah, brutal. Brutal injury report, man. Especially Drew Lock. I like him a lot. Yeah, but the Jamal Adams trade was good choice. Absolutely. Jamal Adams is good. But did you see that he posted that picture? I saw it on one of my group chats. They said that he posted a picture of him with a helmet on. He's always locked in looking at the screen, but then he had a joint sitting between his legs and he deleted the picture and then he re-uploaded it without the joint sitting between his legs. It actually may have just been a black and mild, but the joke was it was a joint. But especially since he deleted it and put it back up, he made it seem like there was something fishy going on about there. I love streams like this. It's fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. You're always here. I appreciate it. Especially, Chrissy, sports fan all day. You guys are always here. I appreciate it. Hopefully Rob Iman is right there with us too. We're doing this after every primetime game. I'm here Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Also do a Tuesday night with my dad talking skins. So hopefully you join us there too. San Francisco may need to consider trading expiring contracts and reload in 2021. It's not a terrible idea because they have a young core that's really, really good. I think that if they got a better quarterback, that's an interesting idea for them. If they got a really good quarterback, maybe they draft a quarterback, kind of tank this season and get one of these young guys because I'm not a big Jimmy G fan, but Shanahan's know how to run the ball, so they're going to have a great run game for a young quarterback coming in, and you get another weapon or two for him on offense as far as receivers go. He has a fantastic tight end. Like, get a good quarterback, and all of a sudden, San Francisco is a legit contender. They're already a contender when healthy, but they become a legit contender. I want to draft James Morgan in the 2020 draft in the 5th round, just in case Trashkins didn't work out, but the Jets ended up drafting him in the 4th round. Know nothing about James Morgan. Sorry, I cannot comment too much on that, but hey, we couldn't make too many QB moves this year because we had to pay Alex Smith, so I don't know about that. I'm thinking about making me a channel now. You inspired? Well, I know I already have a channel, but I think about starting up my own sports talk. Then we could join each other. Would you subscribe to me? Sure. Yeah, man. you subscribe or you start a channel and let me know. Just let me know when you actually get it started. And yeah, definitely I'll subscribe. But you know what? I can subscribe to Chrissy right now. Why not? Hold on. Do you actually is that channel name? I don't know. Hold on. Doesn't look like I can right now. I have to. I don't know. I will. Oh, V Chrissy. That's right. It's got to be a V ahead of time. I will. Let's see here. I think Saints might have to restructure Taysom Hill contract. We way too overpaid. Yeah, that's true too. For a guy that you don't, I mean, you have to find more ways to use him, right? I know that you guys use him in some tricky ways, but I don't know. What was your final contract details on that, actually? Like, what are you paying him next year? Taysom Hill. Holy moly. Really? Wow. Next year he's a $16.2 million cap hit. Taysom Hill? What is he the year after that? You just paid him a short deal. What is he this year? Taysom Hill. It's only a 4.8 right now, but a $16.2 million next year for Taysom Hill? Absolutely. That is crazy. Holy crap. Yeah, he ain't worth that. Yeah, I was looking up that. Hold on. There he is. Awesome. I subscribed, Kersey. Yeah, it's bad. And we know Jameis replacing Breeze. Yeah, I like the Jameis to replace Breeze. I think you guys got a really good idea there. We'll see what he ends up wanting to be paid after this year. I know you only paid him like $1 million this year or something like that. He's obviously going to want to be more if he's going to be paid the starter numbers. But yeah, it's a very interesting idea of what is he going to actually get paid. Kingsbury's starting to look like a fraud in Arizona. It's an interesting take. He's lost the last 2 games in a row. They lost to Detroit, which is absolutely unacceptable. And who did they just lose to this week, which was surprising to me? Was it Carolina? Yeah, I think they lost to Carolina, and they got spanked by Carolina, too. Jameis might go for 30 more picks if y'all are not careful. Mike Thomas might ask to leave. Jameis, okay, his problem was that he needed LASIK eye surgery, okay? He got that now, so he's going to be fine now, okay? Kingsbury was average at Texas Tech. I never liked the hire. I was not a big fan of the hire. I didn't know much about him as far as was it a good hire, was it not a good hire. It's not like I was thrilled with the guy that was hiring. I know that he was apparently a very great offensive genius, but yeah, to get spanked by Carolina and then also lose to Detroit is very, very concerning. And what sucks is I actually really like Carolina. I think they were a great team, sleeper team this year, but they're in a tough division. They can't lose too many games like that. I think Rivera will turn Antonio Gibson into McCaffrey 2.0. He will be a top back in this league soon if he gets those touches. That's not crazy. It sounds crazy because you're like, oh, yeah, right. He's going to be compared to McCaffrey. The dude's good. If you watch him play, like, He's got a lot of talent. He makes a lot of guys miss. He's up there in the top broken tackles in the league right now. He barely gets tackled by the first guy to touch him. He gets a lot of extra yards. He's actually a pretty decent sized dude, 6 foot 225 or something like that. So 220 or something like that. He's a big boy. I like Antonio Gibson a lot. A lot. He's our second best offensive weapon, in my opinion, behind Scary Terry, who apparently doesn't like to be called Scary Terry. So maybe I shouldn't call him that anymore, but I still like to call him because the defenses are scared of him, man. It's good. I think it's a good nickname, but apparently he doesn't like it. But it comes off so naturally for me. Scary Terry. Yeah, I just wanted to look at this. I'm pretty sure it was Arizona lost to the Cardinals before I say it again. Or, excuse me, Arizona lost to the Cardinals. To the Panthers, yes. And it was 31-22. But I think that is actually closer than what the final score actually was. Yeah, Cardinals must have got a garbage touchdown at the end. Is that? Yep. With 2 minutes left, they got a garbage touchdown when they were down 31-14. So it's not good. It's very bad. Very, very bad. What games you play, Spoiled 8-Fit Gaming? Apex and Madden. I have a problem with Madden. I don't really want to do that. Peyton will fix Winston's turnovers issues. Sean Payton's a fantastic coach. He really is. Especially offensively. So, yeah, I agree. Peyton could get... I like Winston a lot for the Saints. I think that could be a really good move. Bridgewater is looking like a franchise QB in Carolina thanks to Peyton. He had a good day, that's for sure. And they're now 2-2 after starting 0-2, I'm pretty sure. And he doesn't have his best weapon in McCaffrey. So Mike Davis has really replaced McCaffrey really well. You know, he's not McCaffrey by any stretch, but 16 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown, 5 catches for 27 yards. That's awesome. What does Bridgewater have so far? He's got 4 touchdowns and 3 picks. But they beat the Chargers with 22 for 28, 235 yards, 78 completion percentage, 1 touchdown. I don't know. I guess these aren't really numbers that you say franchise QB, but he's won 2 games, so you can't hate too much on that. And we also could have had TJ Watt instead of John Allen in 2017 draft. Who would have gotten John Allen or Watt? I remember at the time, Chris Cooley loved TJ Watt. He really thought TJ Watt was good. But at the same time, he liked Jonathan Allen a lot. I know I mentioned Chris Cooley quite a bit. When he talks, I listen. I think he's fantastic. But I remember hearing great things coming out of the draft. But I think Jonathan Allen was a legit pick. Okay, and TJ Watt has a lot of talent, but I love Jonathan Allen. I think Jonathan Allen right now is kind of overshadowed by some of the other defensive linemen that we have, but I think he's a guy that we should not be disappointed to have. He's a really, really good defensive lineman for us. Me too, Madden is getting too fake and the developers are lazy. I'm right there. You know, it's the same game year in and year out. I think they need to do a lot more with the franchise mode, like have a lot more options to do things on the franchise mode. So I'm right there with you that the developers need to do something where drafting it should be more streamlined or more like the drafting situation, like the scouting players needs to be fixed big time. Like it makes no sense. So to know how fast a player is, I mean, you have the 40-yard dash. You get the list of 40-yard dashes in real life. Why not just know how fast everybody is? But there's some things that you need to watch maybe to get a better feel for as far as like their anticipation, their ability to read, like if they're a linebacker, their ability to read run or pass and read their keys, know how do they play in coverage, how do they fill a hole, how do they tackle, these kind of things that you could say that, all right, you need to actually watch game tape on or something like that. But there's some things that they should just know, like, okay, they should just give you off the gate. It's kind of weird. Sitting behind Drew and Peyton can fix your career. There's no doubt about it. You know, two Hall of Famers right there. Peyton and Drew Brees are Hall of Famers. Drew Brees is a first ballot. No doubter. He broke those records against us. Yeah, the game I'm playing nowadays is Warzone. I'm loving some Warzone, man. I was just going to see if you play any of that. But I don't play Apex at all. And then I just told you what I feel about Madden. Good. Well, hey. Awesome. I don't really see any of your videos. The last video was on four months ago, so I don't know what's going on with that as far as what's going on. I just beat my friends for a Sniper God title. Yeah, I know nothing. I don't know what that means as far as Apex Legends goes. I never played the game, so I don't know nothing about it. But thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna hit the hay. I got work in the morning, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for an hour and a half now. And I will be here, or me and my dad will be here for tomorrow at 7 p.m. talking skins, getting ready for the next week's game against the Rams, going over the disaster that was the Ravens game yesterday. So hopefully you guys join us then. But thank you guys for hanging out. And I would have taken Lamar over Daron Payne. We can debate that later. Come talk to me tomorrow. But thank you guys, and until next time, see ya!